Yo, it's the one and only Lyse.
And it's your girl Velz, a.k.a. Velly Vel, if that's what you want to call me.
And together we are Locked in Sports. Yo, episode 22.
Episode 22.
Oh my God, it's year 2024, baby. And we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Happy New Year.
Happy effing New Year.
Happy 2024. We made it.
Yeah, we did.
And we're here and we're back with another episode 22.
Yep.
As y'all know, we got a little bit of NFL playoffs to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Man, one of the greatest coaches in college football retired. We got to talk about that too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's just going to be one of them episodes where we just kind of dive in as far as football goes. It's a football episode.
Hey, Velz, and because it's a football episode, I got 4 words for you.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to know what those 4 words are?
I kind of know what they are, but go ahead and say it.
How about them Cowboys?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
How about them Cowboys, baby?
What?
How about them Cowboys, baby?
NFC East champions? Them boys?
Hey, we did it. We're the NFC East champs, baby.
They mad.
They're a little mad, they're a little upset, you know. But hey, look, we didn't even think that we would be the NFC East champs. But
Yeah.
here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Huh. Well, how about now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, man. Let's go and get into it, B. Drop the beat.
We are them boys, is what she trying to say. We are them boys. The Dallas Cowboys, like we just mentioned, are the NFC East champions.
Yes, ma'am.
And we couldn't be more happy. Now, of course, we still got some work to do.
Yeah.
But let's just kind of talk about how we got here. How did the Cowboys get here? How are we the NFC East champs today?
Well, you know, I could go a route, but you know what? I'm gonna keep it about Cowboys right now. But you know, I'm gonna go there. You know, I'm gonna go there. You want to know how we? I'm gonna wait. But how we became the NFC East champions is we took care of business.
Yeah.
We took care of business when some teams did not. Some teams didn't take care of business, but the Cowboys did. But I will say, Velz, that at the beginning of the season, I wasn't sold on this team. Mm-hmm. I wasn't. I think I've been very clear on that. That when the season first begun, I was just like, I don't see it. I hope we are good. I was still kind of hurt from letting Ezekiel Elliott go. That's our guy, Zeke.
Yeah. Feed
me, you know. So I didn't know what this team was going to be. But you know what? They have proven me wrong in some aspects. Like, we did not have a December collapse.
Right.
Which, you know, we are prone to do. And we really stood tall. I think after we got smacked in the face by San Francisco, I think that's when we kind of got our act together. Remember, we was having trouble in the red zone. We couldn't score for the first, well, I ain't gonna say the first game because we ran all over the Giants. Yeah, but after that, it just looked scary. And I didn't think that. I was like, well, this is going to be a long-ass season if we can't score touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going nowhere. So once we figured that out, and honestly, thank you, CeeDee Lamb, for going to Mike McCarthy and telling him that you need the ball.
Right.
Once we started giving you the ball, it was up. It was. Definitely a number 1 receiver.
Yes.
CeeDee Lamb is a number 1 receiver.
Oh gosh, she's admitting it.
I am. But I said okay. All right. I said what I had said was at that time last year, I didn't see it. Mm-hmm. No one saw it. I mean, be honest. Did you see that? You didn't see that.
I said he was a wide receiver 1. I said it in the episode.
Did. Okay, you did.
I believed in CD. You know, I mean, him and Dak just had to gain a little bit more chemistry, in which they did. But I've always believed in CD, and he believed in himself.
Yeah, I mean, I knew the talent was there. The problem is he wasn't catching the ball. He had a lot of drop passes. Mm-hmm. And he was not running the correct routes all the time.
Right.
But He's put it together. He is now arguably one. I would call him top 3 wide receivers in the league. I don't know about you, but he's arguably top 3 in my eyes.
Oh yeah, he definitely is top 3. I believe he's top 2, honestly. I think it's between him and Tyreek Hill. I think that's just what it is. CD has proven himself
for sure
to be wide receiver 1 on our team. His stats this season, amazing. Let's just go ahead and talk about some of his stats real quick.
Let's go ahead.
CeeDee Lamb wide receiver ranks this season. In touchdowns, he's number 1. He's ranked number 1. Scrimmage yards first. Receptions first. Touches first. Targets first. I mean, he's wide receiver 1. Like, that's the definition of it.
Yeah.
He broke records this year.
Yeah, he did.
He broke Michael Irvin's reception record.
Yep.
And also receiving yards record, right? I mean, what a year for CD.
It was.
What a year for CD.
And it's his contract year.
Man, what a year for CD. And this is probably why he's playing this well, because he trying to get paid.
Of course.
He's trying to get paid, but also, you know, it helped the Cowboys be successful and become the NFC East champs.
They're actually saying that Dak and CD are the best quarterback wide receiver duo in the league. Do you believe that?
I do. I believe that they're one. Well, I won't say that they are the best. I will say that they are one of the best.
Okay.
Wide receiver quarterback duos in the league.
I agree. I agree. Well, who else would you say would be better than them?
Ooh, now that I think about it, honestly, they may be the best, because when I think about the Dolphins and I think about Tyreek Hill and Tua,
they have a good connection.
They do have a really
great
good connection. Yes, they do, but I just think that from the middle of the season towards the end of the season, I think that Dak and CD kind of took that.
They're definitely clicking on all cylinders at the right time. Like, this is like the best time to be in connection with your wide receiver. For sure.
Couldn't be a better time. It couldn't be a better time.
So I agree with that, man. And even Dak had a hell of a comeback year.
Man. So, as y'all know, I was on Dak's head at the beginning of the season. Before the season even started, I demanded Dak to play great. I didn't want to see anything less than. And he definitely has done that this season. Now, there were some times to where, you know, he looked like old Dak and he wouldn't take off when he should have and trying to force things. But overall, Dak has had an MVP caliber season. And I'm not even, it's not because I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm not trying to be biased.
Right.
Like, just speaking in general, like facts, like he had an MVP caliber season.
I agree.
Let's just see. He had 410 completions at a 69.5% completion rate. He had 4,516 passing yards, 36 TDs, which leads the NFL, I believe.
Yep.
He had only 9 interceptions at the beginning of the season. Dak said that he wouldn't have 10. He had 9.
Yep.
And honestly, some of those interceptions that he had
weren't his fault.
Right. Quarterback rating 105.9. He also rushed for 242 yards. He also rushed. He had 2 rushing TDs. He did get sacked 39 times, but that's fine because that's on the O-line. It's not on him. Well, I guess it's part blame O-line, part blame Dak. Only fumbled the ball 4 times. I mean, Dak had a great season. He did. He had a great season. This is the season that I wanted to see from Dak.
Right.
You know, so now he can stay. He can stay.
He ain't go. No Cooper Rush yet?
No Cooper Rush.
No Trey Lance?
No Trey Lance.
Okay.
Dak did his thing this season. I'm proud of him.
So he earned
so far. I'm proud of him so far.
He earned his spot on the team, Khalil.
He has earned his spot on the team.
There was a stat that you mentioned. I kind of want to run back to.
Okay.
He rushed for 242 yards this season.
He did.
Dak found his legs.
He did. And honestly could have had more. Could have had more rushing yards. Way more rushing yards.
Oh, yeah.
I think and I'm not blowing smoke. I think Dak could have probably had at least 400 rushing yards.
I believe that.
At least.
Because he left a lot of rush yards on the field.
Yes, he did.
You know.
I'm happy with what he did in the regular season. Obviously, we still have to see what he does in the playoffs because this is where they're really judged at. This is when this is when boys become men. Mm-hmm. This is when stars become superstars.
Yep.
This is when greats become legends. And I'm ready to see what Dak does this year in the playoffs.
Yeah. So everything. Dak, I totally agree. MVP caliber season. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be a toss up between him and Lamar, honestly. In my opinion, I think it can go either way.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Also, he showed great leadership this year.
He did.
He's always been
Here we go!
He's always been a good leader, but he definitely showed great leadership on the field, in the media. He showed great leadership, but go ahead and finish.
Yeah, no, he did. He did. Definitely stepped up. I was worried. I was with you. I jumped off the Dak train. I said, I'm tired of defending this guy. He runs in the sacks. He takes the sack. He won't use his legs. And you done that.
Yeah.
Bring those legs to the playoffs. Don't leave them legs in the regular season. I want Dak to bring them legs that he had in the regular season to the playoffs. Please. We're gonna need them.
Please.
And if you're open, Dak, run.
Please run.
It's times I'm sitting on the couch and I'm watching you and I'm like, ooh, could have been a touchdown if you would have just ran. Yeah. So let's bring those legs into the playoffs. I would like to see those. Thanks.
Yeah. Let's talk about some other things like Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
So there were some games this season where, they almost made me not believe. The loss to the Bills, the loss to the Cardinals, even the loss to the Dolphins, even though it was a close game, the first game in Philly.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Micah Parsons for a sec.
Okay.
Micah Parsons, the Lion is still hungry, right? That man has a lot of talent. But for some reason, the referees, I feel like there is what do you call those things to where they put like videos together, like a
compilation? A
compilation of videos to where Micah was getting held, like obvious holds, and the refs
go blind.
They just go blind.
Ray Charles.
And honestly, and it's messed up because I feel like the game against Detroit, a lot of people said we should have lost that game. They're like, the refs missed a call. Dallas is out. The refs are on Dallas' side. They're always getting calls. That is not
bullshit.
True. It's just not. It's so far from the truth.
Right.
And honestly, that's the way I felt in that Lions game. It's like, I don't care that they missed the call because why? They miss a lot of calls for Dallas as well.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like the referees are very biased against Dallas because they're quote unquote America's team.
Yep.
I just feel though, I call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't know, but I feel like they have something against the Cowboys.
Always.
I've seen it too many times at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about that?
No, I agree with you 110%. Like, Micah, he's even came out and said on his own podcast, like, I'm getting held.
Yeah.
And we always getting penalty flags thrown on our way. Mm-hmm. Like, so for people to be like, crying, he missed a cut, the Cowboys always get cut. No, we don't. We get taken out of games because the flag.
Yes, we do.
Killing drives. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That Buffalo game didn't have to go that way.
It didn't.
But we got played by flags and penalties.
We did. Now, part of it, we do need to be more disciplined.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm not giving an excuse.
But at the same time, I just feel like the refs only see holding calls when it comes to us. Or
I do feel that way.
A pass interference or whatever the case may be. Like roughing the pass, whatever it is.
Yeah. Running into the kicker and shit.
Yes. Yeah. Like they always seem to catch us doing it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it could be a holding play on every play in NFL. Every drive, every snap, there could be someone holding. But they always see us.
Yeah, always.
So I don't want to hear that the referees are on our side. I don't want to hear that we're paying the refs to help us win games. I don't care about the call, about dude reporting to the referee and he didn't see it. I don't care about none of that. Because we deserve calls too.
Right.
And they miss calls on us as well. I don't care. Cry to somebody else. I don't care. I just don't care. Sorry to feel that way. I just don't care.
Don't care. Better luck next time, guys.
Right.
How about don't let it come down to the last play of the game? How about that?
Right.
Yeah.
But going back to Dak, you were saying something about him and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, no, I think that MVP trophy could go either way. Lamar Jackson had a hell of a season. Ain't they the number one team in the NFL?
They are.
So like I can't say nothing away. He's done his thing. I don't know. I can't say that Lamar has more passing yards than Dak.
No.
Yeah, definitely has more rush yards. I mean, that's what he does.
That's what he do. Yeah.
And to be fair, and I'm sorry, Baltimore Ravens, Dev, I can't give Lamar Jackson the MVP trophy.
And why is that?
Because I think the Ravens are a good team collectively.
They are.
I don't think that you can. I think with that team, Lamar. Okay, so let me be careful here. Lamar is a great player. Mm-hmm. Let me start there. But the way the Ravens are constructed and the way they play, mm-hmm. you can almost put anybody back there, and they could be successful.
Yeah.
You can't do that with the Cowboys. You can't take Dak away and throw in Cooper Rush and be like, we're going to be NFC East champions.
Right.
That's an MVP. Mm-hmm. When that player is not on the team, what does that team do?
Right.
I'm edging towards Dak, but obviously I don't have a vote. Mm-hmm. But if I did, I would vote Dak for that reason alone. I could take Lamar and throw in, I don't know, a Brock Purdy over there, and it's going to be successful. Or I got a Trevor Lawrence. He'll be successful. Or whomever. Mm-hmm. They'll be successful. Right. I may not can take that same guy and throw him on the Cowboys team and be the same way. I don't know.
I still think that Dak is the MVP, but I feel like the games that hurt his MVP case was the game against the Bills and the game against the Dolphins.
You needed to win those.
We had to win.
Yeah.
If we beat the Bills and the Dolphins back to back, if we won out, did we? Yeah, we won the rest of the games after that.
After those two.
Yeah. We would have won out had we beat the Bills, the Dolphins, and then everybody else after that. Then it is undeniable.
Yeah.
That Dak is the clear-cut MVP of the league.
I agree.
But I feel like the Bills game and the Dolphins game hurt him.
Yeah. I agree. So I guess we'll see whenever that's announced, and we'll be on high alert on that. But other than that, man, as far as like the Micah situation goes, it's tough. I mean, the refs just suck across all leagues.
They do. And I have respect for referees. Don't get me wrong, because the job that they do is very tough. And it's stressful. They get death threats. They get all of that, and they don't deserve death threats or anything.
People
like that.
Are okay.
They don't deserve any of that. But they have been bad across every league, like Lyse said, across the NBA, the NFL, whatever they referee, they've been bad. Even college football, they have been bad, but at the same time, I still do have respect for them. I just want them to get the calls right, and I also want them to be held accountable for calls that they get wrong. It's just so funny how they got the call wrong in the Detroit Lions game. Now all of a sudden they're being held accountable for that game.
Oh yeah,
because they got demoted. They won't be reffing in the playoffs. It's just so crazy how you see what I mean. It's crazy how that happens. It was the Cowboys Lions game. Oh well, these referees messed up this call, so they won't be reffing in the playoffs. So what about all the other referees that mess up?
Keep that same energy.
It's been bad, and we're not even supposed to be talking about NBA in this episode, but just certain things that I've seen about how a team will challenge a call and they go look at the monitors and they clearly see that it's a foul, or they clearly see that somebody's foot is behind the line. Yeah. And they still nope, this is what it is. What? What? Make it make sense. Yeah. We are watching this on national TV. People are seeing you on TV do these things and mess up these calls, and y'all are not being held accountable for it.
That's true.
I feel like referees need to start having pressers after games. I feel like they need to be asked questions. Why did you make this call? What did you see here? I feel like if they did get the call wrong, they need to be fined. Not a whole lot of money, you know, but make them feel it a little bit like, hey, bro, like, this is a professional league. You are a professional ref. Mm-hmm. You have to get these calls right. You almost have to be perfect in getting your calls right. Yeah. So if you're not, even if you go review it and you still get the call wrong, you should be fine.
Yeah.
If you go review a call and you still get it wrong, you should be fine.
I agree. I agree with that.
That's just how I feel.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah. What's that little report you don't like, the 2-minute report?
The last 2-minute report, I can't stand it. Yeah, we was wrong, but you cost us a win. Like, that's we went back and looked at it, and y'all was right. It was a fact. It don't matter no more. It don't help me sleep better. It don't help none of that. Like, the 2-minute report is cool because it's just like you want to be proved right. But at the same time, it's just like, it does not matter. Yeah. It don't even matter no more because why? You can't go back and play those last 2 minutes of the game.
That's true. Yeah.
You can't go back.
Well, I guess to let them, take accountability.
So you need to be fine. You need to be fine. When that last 2-minute report come out and y'all got the calls wrong, you need to be fine. You need to be punished in some kind of way. They are the only people in professional sports that don't get fines, don't be held accountable for nothing. Yeah. Besides the Cowboys Lions game for some strange reason. I don't know. But yeah.
So apologies not good enough. I want your money.
Yes.
I know that's right.
I gotta see it. I gotta have it.
I know that's right. I ain't even mad at it, man. So with all the Cowboys' success, right? Mm-hmm. Meaning somebody's responsible for that. Yeah. And hats off to Dan Quinn. Yes. Dan Quinn is truly responsible for our Cowboys' success. Not only because he has coached this defense up to a place. Mm-hmm. What are we like? Top 5 defense in the league, somewhere around there. He also helped the offense. From what I've heard, like listening to the radio and things, Dan Quinn is the reason why the offense changed. I heard on the radio that Dan Quinn went over to McCarthy's office and was like, your plays are predictable. Right. I can bust up your plays anytime I feel like it with our same defense. So it forced McCarthy's hand to go and make some changes, along with CeeDee Lamb saying, give me the ball. Right. So Dan Quinn is very valuable. And with that comes teams wanting your valuable defensive coordinator. Yeah. Now, we've all heard that Pete Carroll is no longer with the Seattle Seahawks. We've heard now that, I forget the coach name over there in the Tennessee Titans.
He's gone.
Yeah. And both teams have now, amongst other teams around the league, have now sent a letter out to the Cowboys organization asking to speak with Dan Quinn for a potential head coaching job. Man. I have 2 questions with that, but my first one is, how do you feel about just them reaching out in the middle of about to be our playoff run, wanting to speak with Dan Quinn about potential head coaching position?
Well, I don't feel a way because this happens all the time. Mm-hmm. In the NBA and in the NFL, I'm sure it happens in the NHL. I'm sure it happens everywhere. Right. In the MLB, like, it happens everywhere. You could be in the playoffs and they will reach out to, they will reach out to the organization and be like, hey, we kind of want to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? We think he would fit well on our staff. Mm-hmm. Do you give us permission to do that? Right. It's the type of thing that happens all the time. So I really don't feel a way. Okay. I mean, I've seen it happen. I've seen NBA coaches interview with other organizations while still being in the playoffs.
Do you think that's a distraction?
It could be. Mm. So maybe something needs to be changed. Maybe you can wait till after the season.
I think that's etiquette.
Right. You can let them know, hey, look, we're interested. We will wait till after your season is done, but we are interested in that coach.
Yeah. I feel like that's fair, and I think that's nice. Right. Don't come in here creating rah-rah. We got playoff games to win. Right. We're trying to get to the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
So I think it's okay to ask for permission, but I would rather you wait till the season is over with.
Yeah, just wait.
Because clearly he's still under contract. I just think it's just rude. Yeah. So my follow-up to that, do you think Dan Quinn is gone after this season?
Honestly, I do.
Win or lose?
I do. Win or lose, I think He's gone because they're saying that he wants to be a head coach again. And who are we to try to hold him hostage, even though he has had our defense playing lights out? Who are we to hold him hostage from his opportunities?
Right.
Because he's going to be paid more money,
right,
obviously. So he has to do what's best for him, you know. But I think he's gone. I think that if we win the Super Bowl, okay, we accomplished what we set out to do. Now it's time for me to go do what I need to do elsewhere. If we lose, hey, we tried. We've done this. Something's not working. Something's not clicking. Yeah. I'm gonna move on.
Gotcha.
So either way, win or lose, I think he's
done. Now, as for the Cowboys, what do you do in this situation? Do you A, make him head coach to keep him? Ooh. Or B, do you money whip him to keep him? Like make him the most highest paid defensive coordinator in history of the NFL.
Right.
What do you do, Jerry Jones, a.k.a. Velz, in this situation with Dan Quinn? He is the heartbeat of your team. At the end of the day, Mike McCarthy, I'm going elsewhere. Let me just say this, and we'll go back to that. I think if we do not take that next step, meaning if we don't reach the NFC Championship, I think Mike McCarthy's gone.
You think so?
The way our season, how it played out, how it kind of fell, perfect storm type shit.
Right.
If you don't capitalize on this road, you have the easiest road there. If you play this right, you don't see San Francisco until the championship game. So if you can't get there, I don't know what else I could do for you, Mike McCarthy.
So
go ahead.
I would say that I would make him the highest paid DC.
Yeah.
That's just what I would do because I just don't feel like Jerry is going to get rid of McCarthy. We know how he is with his head coaches.
Right. He loves them.
He loves them. He's going to keep them there. He believes in them. And McCarthy hasn't done a bad job.
He hasn't.
He's done a decent job at calling the plays. So I feel like
time management was a little shaky at times.
Right. Right. It always is shaky at all times. he still ain't good at that. But I feel like I would make DC the highest paid DC.
DQ.
I would make DQ Dan Quinn the highest paid DC in the league. That's just what I would throw it all at him.
I would too.
We need you here.
Right.
We need you to retire here.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. Because the schemes that he runs as far as that defense and everybody else on the defensive staff, I just feel like he's the perfect fit. It's just like, how do you replace him?
It's hard.
How do you replace Dan Quinn?
It's hard.
I know you want to be a head coach. I get that. I understand that. But man, if we give you this certain amount of money and we can guarantee you NFC East or further, would you stay?
Yeah.
Like I'm just giving them that. I'm sorry. I got to offer them that.
You have to. I mean, I'm with you. I'll answer my own question. I will money whip the hell out of Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you want to play? Huh? What will it take? Yeah. Because I remember when Dan Quinn came from, we're not gonna stay long. I just want to gotta have context here. When Dan Quinn, he was a head coach. It's not like he ain't never been. He was a head coach for Atlanta. I think did he take Atlanta to the Super Bowl and they lost?
Was it that year?
I think that was that year.
Lost to the Patriots?
Yeah, I think that was that year.
Okay.
We can fact check later, but I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all can always do that. They thought he was a one-trick pony. You know, he comes to Dallas. I mean, the floodgates open. He got, like you talked about the schemes. They're creative. They're kind of a little complex. He throws different things at you, and he put the league on notice. Oh, we thought Dan Quinn is just a 3-4 nickel guy.
Right.
Oh, he doesn't. He throwing this. So I get it. I get the hype. I see it. I watch it every Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're Jerry Jones, you have to make him the highest paid defensive coordinator we have ever seen in the history of the NFL, and then promise him, boom, you're next in line.
Yeah.
And I think that gets the job done.
I think so too.
I think it does. And unless his heart is just saying, no, I don't want your $100 million. I want to be a coach for the Seattle Seahawks.
Right.
Then I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah. Yeah. And while we're still on the defense, we got to shout out Bland.
Hey, Yes.
Gotta shout out Bland.
Yeah.
What did he broke the pick six record?
Yeah, broke the pick six record. He had the most interceptions in the entire football league. He missed the INT. Yeah. So Deron Bland, here's to you. Hell of a season. Yeah. You stepped in when Trayvon Diggs went down.
Yep.
And so then here we go. Thank you. You just open up the door here, Velz. Trayvon goes down. Bland comes in. I didn't feel that there was going to be a drop-off. Mm-hmm. I was certain that we had depth. I didn't know Bland was going to be that good.
Right.
Did you? How did you feel?
I didn't see. I felt like we would still get takeaways. Mm-hmm. But like you said, I didn't expect Bland to be this good.
Right.
With the pick sixes and the interceptions. I mean, he really was the definition of next man up this year.
Yes.
Because when Diggs went down, I was pretty sad. I was pretty upset. Because as you said in a previous episode, him and our other guy, Gilmore were looking like the best
cornerback
duo in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only imagine what it would have looked like had Diggs kept playing.
Oof.
But at the same time, I'm glad Bland did what he did. And I'm glad he got his shine.
Gotcha. So I got another question for you.
What's up?
So, Trayvon will be back, right?
Oh, yeah.
What do you do? Do you get rid? Is Gilmore gone? Do you want Stephon Gilmore gone and you plug in Bland on the other side? Because, I mean, Gilmore has been, played. He's been good as well. Balled.
He's been good as well. I mean, I just feel like you have to find something for them to do.
keep all three.
I would keep all three.
Yeah.
Now, is it traditional for a team to keep more than two cornerbacks that are good?
Yeah.
And can
who starts
make plays and get right? So
because you can only start two.
You can only start two, and that's my only thing. So we got to see how Diggs looks when he comes back after this injury.
Yeah.
Because this was a big time
ACL,
injury.
right?
Yeah, this is a big time injury. So we got to see how he looks,
right?
How comfortable he feels. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you have to keep all three right now.
I agree.
See what Diggs gives you in training camp. See what it looks like, and if it doesn't work, then we got to make a decision from there. So
I like that.
Yeah.
One more thing I want to say. I do want to apologize to Brandon Cooks. I do apologize. I didn't say anything negative. I just wasn't a believer.
Yeah.
I wasn't a believer. I'll be the first to admit. I wanted DeAndre Hopkins. If you told me Hopkins or Cooks, I'm taking Hopkins. I want Hopkins. When we didn't get Hopkins and we ended up with Cooks, I'm like, oh, hell. I didn't think Brandon Cooks was a bad player. I just wanted Hopkins. And I didn't think Cooks could bring anything more than what Michael Gallup could.
Yeah.
And maybe ignorant me, because I just maybe didn't know enough about Brandon Cooks. I just had him on my fantasy team, and he didn't just give me a lot of fantasy points in years past. So I just figured it was just, whatever. He's a hit and miss guy, because on fantasy he's a hit and miss guy. Mm-hmm. So I do want to apologize because he has been a great number 2.
He has.
Great number 2. And I don't know if we have him past this season. If we do, great. He's also brings that veteran leadership. Mm-hmm. He makes that wide receiver room better. He makes those, he goes up there and grabs the ball. So my apologies to Brandon Cooks for not believing. But, hey, I'm glad you're on the team. I'm glad you're doing well. Michael Gallup, where the hell are you? Where have you been? So with that being said, Gallup, thank you for your services, but we're no longer needed here. I'm serious. You are no longer needed here. You're just a body at this point. I haven't heard Gallup's name all season.
Yeah.
All season, haven't. Last thing that I want to say, the curse has been lifted. The Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. I don't care what nobody say. The curse has been lifted. We're going to the Super Bowl because the great Jimmy Johnson went into our Ring of Honor December 30th, and I can be no more proud than that. It's a long time coming, well deserved, a long time coming. Should never have been that long, Jerry. But yes, Dan Quinn is now in our Cowboys Ring of Honor where he should have been 20, 30 years ago.
Jimmy Johnson, not Dan Quinn.
I said Dan Quinn? Uh-huh. Jimmy Johnson, I'm sorry. Yeah. Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy, the mother in Johnson. Yeah. 2-time, back-to-back Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
Oh, please believe me.
I could tell it meant a lot to him because he shed tears.
Yeah,
I
man.
watched the show the next morning.
Yeah.
And he was on, I forgot what the show is called, the pregame show before the NFL.
Oh, that Fox.
And
whatever.
he shed tears, so I could tell it meant a lot to him.
Yeah, man.
So I'm happy about that as well.
Yeah, so let's clap it up for Jimmy Johnson.
Yep.
For making it.
Yep.
Thank you, Jerry. So let's just go on and move on. Velz, you had said earlier, how did we get here?
Well, so as we said before, Cowboys are the NFC East champs.
Yep.
And as you know, there are 4 teams in the NFC East, and that is us, the Cowboys, the New York Giants, the Washington Commanders, and the Philadelphia Eagles, who a lot of people picked to be the NFC champs. All I heard was after we beat them in the second game at home, all I heard was, oh, well, the Eagles are going to win out and, they'll be the NFC East champs and Dallas is going to have to figure out a way to win playoff games on the road and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, the chatter, yes.
But here we are.
Here we are.
Because the Eagles wet the bed.
Oh, my gosh.
And especially this last game, they lost to the Giants. Oh my gosh.
God.
It was
embarrassing.
I forgot even what the score
it doesn't
was.
even matter. A lot to a little.
It don't matter.
A lot to a motherfucking little.
It
That's
don't
what it
matter.
was.
Because the Eagles was making fun of us. At the beginning of the season, the Eagles fans were making fun of us whenever we lost the game to the Arizona Cardinals at the beginning of the season. And they were laughing and posting memes and all kinds of stuff and asking us, how about the Cowboys and all of the above. But I don't have to go in any further on this because we know what's going on. We are better than the Eagles.
We are.
Still to this day at this point. If we have to meet up with them in the playoffs, I feel like we will beat them. But I'm going to let Lyse go in because she's itching to go in on these Eagles. So I'm going to go ahead and let her take the mic.
Oh, my. The Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles. Oh, the fans have just been loud and wrong all season. They were walking with their chest held high and all the things. What happened? I just really want to know what happened. It seems like after y'all got your face smacked by the 49ers, you forgot how to play football. Did they slap you and brand right around and you just completely forgot how to play a football game? They're not the Philadelphia Eagles, Cavell. They're the Philadelphia frauds. We have been bamboozled. We have been hoodwinked. We've been scammed. They tried to put the wool over our eyes, but we knew. Oh, yes. Cowboys fans knew that wasn't real. The Eagles are not real. I'm sorry. The frauds are not real. I've said it. I've said they look good, but it was just something about it. It just wasn't believable. It was never believable.
I think we both said that on a previous episode. I was like, even with the record that they had at the time, I think it was like 8-1, 9-1, maybe even 10-1.
Yeah.
I was like, it's something about the Eagles I just don't believe in. They just didn't look good. They didn't look like the same Eagles that had made the Super Bowl.
No, they didn't. They didn't. But I mean, the record was great. Mm-hmm. I don't understand how you look good, you have a great record, and you just still don't believe in the team. And they have shown why.
Well, after they went 10-1, they followed that by going 1-5 the remaining 6 games. So
terrible.
I don't know.
So I mean, I think the Eagles or the frauds need to just sit back, be humble, slow down, be humble. You know, Kendrick, like just because now you're in the 5th seat, you're sitting at 5. You're sitting at 5. So I you know what? Y'all know. I don't even want to talk about it no more. Don't kick a horse while it's already down. Then now that just becomes animal cruelty.
Wow.
Let's go on. Let's move on.
We're gonna move on from there. They don't deserve that much talk on this podcast. Not playing. So we've done all the talk about the NFC, us being the NFC champs.
Yeah.
But now, It's the real.
It's the real.
This is the real part of the season. This is the part of the season that matters. The NFL playoffs, man. And here we are again. Yes. This is the moment that, well, I know for sure the Cowboys wait. Well, most Cowboys fans wait on this moment right here.
Oh yeah.
What are we gonna do in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm. So, who's all in the playoffs? Let's talk about that.
Okay.
So over in the AFC, we got in the wild card round is Houston against Cleveland. Then it's Kansas City against Miami. Then it's Buffalo against Pittsburgh. And then Baltimore is waiting on the winner out of Kansas City and Miami and the win.
They're waiting on the winner of. Are they?
Yeah, so they'll play the low seed out of Kansas City and Miami or Houston and Cleveland.
Okay.
It's weird how the bracket.
Yeah.
Over in NFC in the wild card, Tampa Bay against Philly, Detroit against the Rams, Dallas against Green Bay, and San Francisco is waiting on the lower seed out of Tampa Bay, Philly, and Detroit and the Rams, I believe. So, because we'll beat Green Bay, but we'll get there. So those are the wild card round. Before we kind of get into our predictions, are you surprised at some of the teams that did not make it, that you thought would be in the playoffs that are not participating this year?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of, well, I won't say plenty. So, for starters, I thought the Bengals would be there. Mm-hmm. Didn't expect Joe Burrow to get hurt. And he started the season hurt. Yeah. And it really didn't pan out. So, they just kind of he got hurt worse, I believe. He had another injury. Mm-hmm. And so, they kind of went downhill. They finished their season, I believe, 9-8. The Jaguars, I thought that they would make the playoffs.
I agree.
With what's the quarterback's name? Why can't I think of
Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence.
I felt like he would lead them to the playoffs. ETN running. Yep. His receiver Ridley. Mm-hmm. I felt like they would make it, but they did not. They also went 9-8. Let me see.
I was shocked that the Jets. Obviously, I had them going prior to the Aaron Rodgers injury. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of let down when that happened because I wanted that for the Jets. You feel sorry for that little dog that just be laying around in front of your house. You throw him a bone. I want them to have a bone. Give him a bone.
Yeah.
So I was disappointed in that. And I agree with everything else you said. Anybody else?
Yeah, everybody else that didn't make it, just they weren't supposed to make it. Did not have them going to the playoffs. But yeah, those teams right there, the Bengals and the Jaguars, I was surprised about them.
Yep, I agree.
Maybe the Vikings. Maybe
the Vikings. Yeah, maybe. And they lost Kirk Cousins. Yeah. I still think they're right there on the bubble. They probably need one more piece to solidify this is a continuous playoff team. That's how I feel about the Vikings. I think they're maybe a couple of pieces away to be considered a playoff team year after year.
Right.
So let's go on and get into these wild card round.
All right.
Let's do it. All right. AFC. Houston Texans against Cleveland. Houston, I'm surprised. I'm surprised and not surprised. I said Houston could be a playoff team. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it was going to be this year, but CJ Stroud had a hell of a year. Undoubtedly the rookie of the year.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there, but I did say that Houston would be sorry this year, and I was wrong. I didn't know how Stroud was going to look, but he did carry this team to the playoffs. They barely made it now.
Yeah, but here they little chinny chin.
But they did make it, and so the team that I'm going to go with in this matchup, Cleveland versus Houston, I'm going to go with Houston.
I am too. The upset, even though they're ranked higher than Cleveland,
right?
That is to me it's
the underdog.
Yeah, I consider that an upset. Yeah. I got the Texans there.
Yeah.
All right. What do you see out of that KC and Miami game? And that's going to be a tricky game.
That's a tough game, but I'm going with Miami.
Ooh.
Kansas City has looked bad all year.
You've been saying that. You've been saying that too.
Yes, and I just don't believe that they're going to turn it up right now in the playoffs. Now, a switch could flip.
Yeah.
With Mahomes, but I mean, he was my NFL fantasy quarterback. Their defense was my fantasy defense, and they just underperformed this year. And the way his receivers has been playing, they can't catch balls. People have been in and out of the lineup, like some of the running back, like Pacheco and all of them. But I just don't see them turning it around right now. I don't see them flipping that switch. So Miami has played decent football all season. Yeah. And I just believe in Tua and Tyreek Hill and Waddle and A-Kane, if that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
I just think that they have a better overall chance of advancing over Kansas City. I don't think Kansas City is going anywhere.
I got you.
I could be wrong though.
I'm taking Kansas City here.
Okay.
Yes. Kansas City has not looked like the Chiefs of the past. I agree 110%. But Miami has not looked good the last couple of weeks either.
Right.
But I kind of feel like how I feel about Tom Brady. When there's a Mahomes, there's a way. When there's Brady, there's a way. I can't take anything. Pat Mahomes have shown us time again who the hell he is. And I don't think that in the playoffs is going to be anything different. I think him himself will arise to the occasion, but the only thing that's holding Kansas City back is they don't even have any receivers. He has nobody to throw the ball to besides Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce, to me, hasn't had a great season.
He hasn't. I was surprised that he was selected as an...
that's the Swifties.
Yeah,
that was the Swifties.
I was very surprised.
I wish they get out of football. I'm ready for that to be done. Ready for that to be done. But no, you're absolutely right. But I for some reason I can't go against the grain.
Okay.
Next we got Buffalo and Pittsburgh.
Buffalo. No explanation needed.
Buffalo.
No explanation needed. I'm going with Buffalo. Yeah. But, things can happen, but I'm going with Buffalo.
Yeah, Pittsburgh ain't got a chance in hell. Yeah. And if Pittsburgh upsets Buffalo, then yes, that coach needs to, I don't even know who the Buffalo Bills coach is, but give him his pink slip.
Right.
Because, yeah. Anyway, moving on.
That game really should be a blowout. Now, it's a playoff game. It's a playoff game. Don't get me wrong. But Buffalo should blow the Pittsburgh Steelers out.
So if they don't,
well, no, I mean, if they just win the game, they just win the game. Okay, cool. But I see that happening. I see them blowing them out in that game.
Okay, I agree. I mean, they should. They should. If the Buffalo Bills are who they claim to be, Pittsburgh shouldn't have a chance in hell. Mm-hmm. So we'll leave that at that.
Yep.
Let's move over to the NFC. Tampa Bay against the Philadelphia Eagles. Frauds.
So this is a tough pick here. But as bad as Philly has looked these past few weeks, I'm gonna give the nod to Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
I think that the Philly first of all, Jalen is hurt.
Yeah.
He hasn't been 100% all year.
Right.
And then this past game against the Giants, he was pulled in the first half, I believe. But it looked like he had a dislocated finger. Mm-hmm. They just don't look good right now.
Yeah, and AJ Brown hurt, ain't he?
Huh?
AJ Brown hurt, ain't he?
AJ Brown got hurt, and now we don't know if he's going to be out of the game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But he is hurt.
Yeah.
Philly just does not look good right now. And you want to be playing your best football going into the playoffs. They have not been playing their best football. Dang. I'm not just saying Tampa Bay is that great either. Mm-hmm. But I feel like Tampa will, and they are the lower seed, but I feel like they will upset Philly in the first round.
Dang. I'm gonna take the Philadelphia Frauds here. Tampa Bay. I don't watch enough Tampa Bay games. I don't know if Baker can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can do that in that kind of moment. Philly's going to Tampa Bay? Yeah, they're most likely going to Tampa Bay then. Philly is hurt. But I do think Philly going to find a way to pull that game out.
Yeah, they're going to be on the road because they thought that was the position that we were going to be in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Philly's going to find a way to pull that game out. And I want them to. I want the Philadelphia Frauds to win that game. I really do. Because I want to see them. I hope I get to see them. I'm gonna give it to Philly.
Okay.
Detroit Lions against the LA Rams.
I'm gonna have to go with Detroit here. I feel like from the beginning of the season, when they started off against the Kansas City Chiefs, they have been on a mission. They played some decent football this year.
Yep.
These are not the Detroit Lions of the past.
Nope.
They look good.
Mm-hmm.
They look good this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with Detroit here.
I am definitely taking Detroit here over the Rams for every reason you said. I saw this coming at the end of last season. I was like, oh, they're figuring it out. They're starting to figure it out in Detroit, and they are, and they have.
Yeah.
So for that alone, I don't believe in the Rams. I think the Rams, bought that championship a couple of years ago, and hey, I told you I'm a firm believer buying championships. I am not knocking that. Please, I will buy a championship if I could. So I don't believe in Matt Stafford. I don't think he's that guy. Some people probably do, and that's fine. But I just don't think they have enough. Now they have what's his name? That rookie receiver Nakawakawa.
Puka.
Yeah. Should have just said Puka. Should have just said Puka. Nah, but great receiver. They had that little running back. Ooh, got that great little running back. I can't think of his name for the life of me right now. So Rams have some pieces. I just don't think they're enough to overcome that hard playing football Detroit Lions. Right. And the game that we all have been waiting for and care about, the Dallas Cowboys against the Green Bay Packers, which I call them our Achilles heel. Can we finally beat Green Bay? Velz.
Yeah, we can. I believe that. I really do. Dallas, we on a mission right now, and we're at home. We
seize the moment, seize everything.
We gotta seize everything. Right now. We're undefeated at home in the regular season. I feel like Jordan Love is a young quarterback. He's coming, but I just don't think that this is their time right now. I think that Dallas takes care of business against them. We can't play around with them, though.
No.
We can't play around with them, but I think that we take care of business at home against Green Bay. I feel like we can finally beat Green Bay in the playoffs.
I do believe that. I'm confident. I'm not going to be overly confident, but I am confident. I am confident that, like you said, we don't lose at home. We're at home. Like you said, Green Bay is the youngest team in the NFL playoffs this year is the Green Bay Packers. I think that stage may be too bright. That's just usually how it goes. The young team freezes up in the biggest moments. And they may not. They may be ready for this moment.
Right.
And they can be. And I want them to be. But we better be more ready than they are.
Right.
Amen? We need to be more ready than Green Bay. We need to avenge Dallas Cowboys. We need a Dallas Cowboys. We need to win. Okay? So I do believe Dallas will take care of business. They better take care of business. Because, child, I ain't going to go there. Dallas will win. Velz, give me the score of that game.
Ooh. I think we beat them 30 to like 17 or something.
Ooh.
I think it'll be one of them games. I think we'll be on fire. I think we'll be hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah.
I think our defense will get some takeaways, maybe one or two. We're going to get after that quarterback. That's 30-17.
Okay. I'll take that. I think I'm going to take 30-23.
Okay. Oh, that's close. That's too close for me. But okay.
I know. No, it is too close. I know the Cowboys. I don't know if we're going to actually go out there and like smack them in the mouth like we should.
Right.
I think we're going to be, I think the stage may be too bright for some of our players. You know.
I hope not.
I hope not. I just know this team. And I'm going to try to, and I want your score.
Yeah.
Your score, I'm cool. I'm chilling.
Yeah, we chilling. We relaxing.
Yeah, I'm my feet up. Got my little cowboy blanket on. I'm relaxing.
Right.
They're not gonna let me have my Sunday like that, Kavil. They're not. I'm gonna be fussing. I know, we know. But I'm hoping for Velz score, but I'm thinking it's gonna be a little tighter. I think it's gonna be 30-23. So those are our predictions for wild card weekend that starts this weekend. Yes, this weekend starts the NFL playoffs. And hey, we just wanted to jump on, show some love to our boys, show some love to the NFL playoffs. It's going down, road to the Super Bowl. Velz, do you think we're gonna go?
I do.
Ooh,
I feel
the curse has been lifted.
The curse has been lifted. I feel like we will take care of Green Bay, like we just talked about, and then we have the potential to play either who.
We would have the potential if
it's either going to be the Rams or the.
So, if
the lowest, so the highest seeded team in each conference will play
the lowest seeded
team that advances.
Right. So if we take care of business on Green Bay and Detroit beats the Rams, like we said, and you saying Tampa Bay will beat Philly, so then Tampa Bay will play San Francisco and we will play Detroit.
Right.
But in either way, it would just be reversed. It would be Philly playing San Francisco and we still will be playing Detroit. Yeah. So
I feel like we're going to at least make it to the NFC East championship game, which I feel like we are going to meet up with San Francisco.
I do too.
And that's where we're going to have to take care of business at there. Because that is something about them.
I know.
It's something about them. But
I hate those guys.
I just want to take care of one game at a time.
Yeah.
But I do think, and I'm really not, I think we're going to the bowl, man.
We them boys.
I think we're going to be in Vegas, man. I think we're going to be in Vegas, man.
Hey, we them boys.
I think we're going to be in Vegas.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be in Vegas.
I feel it. But that's all we got for right now because we got to let the games play out.
Yep.
All right, Velz. Before we get out of here, you had mentioned earlier that a legendary football coach has retired.
Yes. Nick Saban. Nick Saban is calling it quits. He is retiring. Amazing career. Amazing coach.
Yeah.
Just great. He decided to hang it up, man. He decided to hang it up today. We kind of want to read off some of his accomplishment. Well, I can't say some because
that's a lot.
His career wasn't just small now.
Yes.
But yeah, we kind of wanted to read off the accomplishments of his career.
He got 7 natties. 7 of those natties. 2003, 2009, 2011, 12, 2015, 2017, and 2020.
Yep. He also got 11 SEC titles in 2001, 2003, 2009, 12, 14 through 16, 18, 20, 21, and last year, 2023.
Yep. Like Nick Saban, he gets players and turns them into professional athletes, professional NFL football players. If you want to go to the NFL, you go to Alabama. That is one of the schools you go to. They produce some of the best talent. Nick Saban has had a hell of a career. You know, his tactics may not always been great, but the results have been amazing.
Yep.
So I just want to say shout out to Nick Saban for a hell of a career. Whatever you do from now, hey, that's on you. Put your feet up, relax, enjoy. You've accomplished a lot of things that a lot of these coaches are striving to get to where you are now. So
that retirement party is gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah.
His retirement party is gonna be crazy.
Oh, I know it's gonna be lit.
I know that he is gonna have a permanent suite.
Oh yeah.
At their stadium.
Oh.
This man started coaching in the 70s, y'all.
Woo!
In the 70s. In 73 and in 74, he was a grad assistant. I'm going to kind of just run through this real quick.
Yeah.
75 to 76, he was at Kent State. Well, in 73, 74, he was at Kent State as a grad assistant, and then he became, the linebackers coach. 75 to 76 and 77, he was the O-line. What's OLB?
Offensive line? Oh, no. Outside linebacker. Yeah, outside linebacker.
He was a coach at Syracuse, Not and these are not head coaching positions. 78 to 79, he was at West Virginia. 80 to 81, he was at Ohio State. 82, he coached for Navy. 83 to 87, he was at Michigan State as a defensive coordinator and DB coach. 88 to 89, which was, in 88 I was born. He actually coached for the Houston Oilers.
Oh, okay.
In 90, he was at Toledo as the head coach. 91 to 94, he coached for the Cleveland Browns as a DC. 95 to 99, he was at Michigan State. 2000 to 2004, he was the head coach at LSU. 2005 to 2006, he coached the Miami Dolphins. And then from 2007 all the way to 2023, he was the head coach at Alabama. And really, that's probably his main job that he's going to be known for the rest of his...
Absolutely.
His legacy.
That's his legacy.
His legacy was built.
Roll Tide.
He did win at LSU, though.
Yeah. Oh, so I mean, he's got rings for days. He got rings for days. Yeah. Been coach of the year multiple times. He was a 5-time SEC coach of the year, 2003, 2008, 2009, 2016, and 2020. So, like I said, Nick Saban had a hell of a career.
He did.
Hey, hang them cleats up. Sit down.
Put that clipboard down.
Yep. Take the whistle off your neck.
Man.
You know. Crack open a Cody. Light you a cigar. You've done it, champ. You've done it.
Congrats, Nick.
Hey, man. I think that's a wrap on 22.
I think so.
I think it's a wrap on 22, man. Before we get out of here, Cowboys will go to the Super Bowl. And also, make sure y'all go and check out all our previous episodes, man. Tap in, lock in, let us know what you think. Also, don't forget to follow us and like us and share us and anything you can do to us, do it. As long as it's nice, right? Catch us on Instagram at LOCD, the letter N Sports, spelled the correct way. And then you can also find us on Facebook by the same name, LOCD, the letter N Sports, also spelled the correct way. And can they find us, Velz?
You can also follow us on X at LOCD, the letter N Sports, spelled the correct way.
All right. And I think we're out of here. It's been real, y'all. It's the one and only Lyse.
And it's your girl, Velz, a.k.a. Velly Vel, if that's what you want to call me.
And together we are Loc'd in Sports. Peace.